Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another session of Dragonmark Symphony here on Natural One Media. My name is Dylan. We are off to a slightly late start, but we press on. I'm here with my friends as we continue our adventure throughout the land of Corvair. The last time we were together, all of you had experienced a very strange and uncomfortable evening inside of a Gold Dragon Inn outside of the Eldritch Groves, as you are currently traversing your way to the major city of Passage in the nation of Aundair.
It's really going to affect their star rating.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
you know, that Yelp
absolutely.
review.
Yeah,
It's
you
gonna
know.
be,
But you know,
be rough.
what else is new?
Werewolf encounter, very uncomfortable.
At some point,
Atmosphere, 1 out of 5.
at some point, all of our characters are gonna wake up to a weird dream and be like, "Ah, not again! Come on!"
Yeah, like 3 out of 5 Yelp review. Werewolf almost killed all of us and everybody there, but I know that the gig economy is really hard, so I don't want to ruin. So I don't want to tank your company's business too bad. So.
Werewolf
Sure.
came out of sheep. 1 star.
Pancakes pretty decent.
Yeah. But yeah,
Changed
you
to
all
2.
were at the you all were at the this Gold Dragon Inn when you experienced several bumps in the night, and increasing signs of some sort of werewolf activity in the nearby area. The following morning, you all reconvened with each other for a nice breakfast and to kind of discuss the events that had happened the night before. Before heading outside and meeting with Annette, a young woman that you had all met the night prior. Being a resident of the small village of Tellin, which is actually part of the border nation of Thrain, you all met Annette again as she was in a nearby field investigating what appeared to be sort of like a sheep's skin, or at least the remnants of a sheep. And there was some in-depth conversation about some of the things that you had encountered, as well as some conflicting information, and specifically in regards to the current moon that is visible, as well as which planes of existence that moon is supposed to reflect. There's a lot of conflicting information, a lot of confusion going around, and such things as footprints, what appear to be footprints, were discovered leading back into the Eldritch Groves, which is this large, quite immense forest, really, that the Gold Dragon sits just outside of. That being said, with the overwhelming evidence that there does appear to be some sort of werewolf activity here, it was agreed upon by the group after some discussion that while finding the werewolf and ensuring that it isn't able to attack any other people or livestock would be a very noble thing to do, they are perhaps not quite equipped to handle a creature such as this, especially if it is being affected by the current moon. So it was agreed that instead they would continue on their journey and that they would travel north, continuing to make their way to the City of Passage. Annette told them that she was going to return back to her home village of Tellin to investigate the book that she had on astrological information, as there is concerns of whether or not the information in it may be outdated or faulty to some degree. But she did say that she would potentially, if you happen to be in the City of Passage still, in a few days from now, she may meet you all there, as there's a friend of hers who she was planning to go and visit, who lives within the city. So, with that, you all agreed that you would part ways for now, and as we had left off before, you were just sort of heading back towards the Dragon Inn to collect your things and check out, as well as of course, get your horses and your carriage, so that you could continue your trip.
Okay. Trying to jog
So
on
that is
back.
where we shall continue with all of you returning back to the Gold Dragon Inn.
Before we go back, I do want to look at the sheep that was wounded. That was sitting
Yes.
next to you. Look to it and then make a mental connection and say, "I hope you feel better."
Well, bad news for you there.
And I feed it a piece of-
roll an animal handling check for me.
Absolutely, I will. My -1 will. Holy shit! You guys didn't hear it, but these new dice I got made a lot of noise when I clicked on. Yeah. Oh god, it's still going. That's an 8.
It's an 8. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
in D&D Beyond, or
And DDB.
oh,
Yeah. I
Alright,
got.
well.
Not to make it more sponsory, but it's a certain set that.
No,
makes
but I
noise
want to
like
know
that.
if when you said it where they kept going, I was like, oh, are you talking about virtual? I was trying to, like, are you talking about virtual dice?
Right. No, my dice are Beyblades actually, with like numbers on the end.
Okay, so I think I
What else
definitely
will you
don't
part the
really
sea with?
believe in buying the dice that are available on this platform. But if they made Beyblade dice, I would buy them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair.
You know,
I did get mine for free, thankfully, so we're good.
you rolled an 8. So the sheep looks at you with its unblinking sheep eyes,
Uh-huh.
and it goes, "Meh."
I nod as if it just told me the most wisest statement like she could ever give me, and I give it a piece of bread and I leave, and I join the others. Yeah.
All right. Returning back to the Gold Dragon Inn. Inside, you'll find that there are more people that have come downstairs as it is getting further on in the morning here. You can already see that there are some people who have gathered a lot of their belongings and are checking out at the bar. Handing off their keys, exchanging paperwork, and then heading off on their way. You actually see a couple people who were not seated together the night before, but now are communicating with each other and actually looks like exchanging information. And another group still that is all wearing very similar clothing to each other, similar packs that they have with them, and all of them they've got a big map sort of levitating up in the air, and a dwarf in the group is kind of pointing at points on the map, and is just saying to the rest of them, right, so we're going to travel about 62 miles northeast. We'll reach this point right here. There's a small settlement on that side. They should have an opportunity for us to refill, and then we're going to continue along this path. Let him use the other one. Well, you see, there's been a bit of a cutoff on that bridge. Appears like some kind of a blockage has happened. Don't know if they've gotten it cleared out yet, but if we take this other route, we should be able to avoid it entirely, and we'll still be able to make it to the settlement by sundown. And they just continue to kind of chart out this route that they're taking as a group. But yeah, you are now back inside the Gold Dragon Inn.
Oh, okay. Well, I suppose we can go collect our things and make our way towards passage.
And that's not traveling.
No, remember she said that she had to attend some business back at home. She's going to be looking into the discrepancy in her book, and then meet us in passage after.
Dak looks to you, Johannes, goes to like put a hand on his shoulder and just hovers over it and nods to you, Johannes, in the understanding way.
I like look at your hand and then like keep walking. Give you a look.
After he
Yeah,
walks
I'm
away,
gonna start making my way towards the guest room.
I do follow, and I'm checking the Steel Thy Heart book to see when I did the gesture wrong.
There's it's unfortunate. There's no like picture diagrams of that specific gesture. You can only go off of the flowery prose that the author was using when they described the moment. So you're not sure if you interpreted it correctly.
Quadralian condoms. I use too many adjectives. So to passage then. Yes.
Yes, the passage.
All right. Then I guess we go out and get our stuff.
Yeah. Settle our debts and then go find
Yeah.
Baja and Tush Puppy. Are they still outside?
Holy shit.
You'll have to check and see.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that's their names.
Baja and Hush Puppy.
So great.
All right. So we're grabbing all of our things from our rooms. It sounds
Yeah.
like, and then you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
check out. Okay. Anybody else you want to talk to before you do that, or are we looking to just?
Didn't really make friends with much of the other folk around here, so no. It's like
Yeah, no, I'm out of here.
It's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you'll all everybody goes upstairs, grabs their things, kind of reconvene back downstairs. Set talks with the bartender at the desk there and exchanges the keys that you all have back with them. They return back like a paper receipt, which Set is able to just stow away. And you are all good to go. You're fully checked out of your rooms, and you are free to get your horses in your carriage and go on about your way.
All right. Let's go find Baja and Hush Puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, you go out to the stables that were located kind of on that left side of the inn there. And when you do, you see that there are a few other horses parked there now. There's also a donkey parked there, and a llama. And the donkey and the
Okay.
llama are right next to each other. They're kind of off on the side. And one of the farmers that you had conversed with when you were first kind of coming into this area is actually there with another farmer, and they seem to be at first glance as you're approaching, it seems like you're in conversation with just each other, but then as you're coming closer, you notice that they turn and they speak to Hush Puppy, and Hush Puppy kind of nods their head, moves their head about in return, and you wonder if they might actually be talking to your horses as well.
Like the other horse is talking to them, or who is it?
Like the two farmers that are standing there are speaking with Baja and Hush Puppy, or communicating with them in some way.
But not the
Okay.
llama. The llama's not talking.
Correct. The llama and the donkey are just sort of sitting there absentmindedly.
Right.
Okay. I was
Do you
gonna be
guys-
like, we have to let these four animals have their conversation.
Yeah.
They're obviously talking about something really important.
Do you all know these? We didn't meet these farmers.
These we didn't see them when we dropped off Hush Bunny and Baja,
One
right?
of the farmers you'd recognize. It was the one that you were talking to about the werewolf initially. It was the one that mentioned that first mentioned the rumors about the werewolf. The other farmer you do not recognize. You have not met them before. They are younger, bit of a sallower face.
Dak is going to stand there and look to Johannes and Silva, and then look back over to Baja and Hush Puppy, and to Baja's head, mental connection, and ask, "So Baja, is everything all right?"
Oh, hey, yeah, dude, everything's chill. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. The locals here were just kind of talking to us about a few things. Um, you guys doing okay? Did you have a good rest?
Yes. Is it safe to approach? Are we allowed in your conversation?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're just talking about stuff.
Understood. I look back to Johannes and Silva. It is okay. They say it's okay to approach.
Okay. Glad we got our horse's permission. I'm gonna go walk up.
The younger farmer kind of turns and looks to you. Ah, you traveling with these fine horses here?
Yes, our party is, yeah. Baja and Hush Puppy.
Oh, they're very fortunate. We don't often get to see steeds of this caliber. They're smart ones, is.
Yeah, they're wonderful animals, aren't they? I'm gonna like pat them on the sides of the neck. If I can reach.
Make a dex check for me.
That's a 66 on the natural 1 chart.
Hey, here we go.
I have not rolled higher than like a 4 in like 2 weeks. I just want everybody to know that.
You got to do something about
I gotta fix.
Yeah.
I gotta get new dice.
Oh no.
If I can get, listen. If I could give a word of advice to you all, and I swear I will never do this again because of how this is a stream. This is
Yeah.
an entertainment product. We want it to be compelling and interesting to watch. That being said, for the good of y'all, I might recommend that y'all just faff about as much as possible.
Wow.
Oh boy.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. That's about as much as I can really say without just giving away what you rolled. But yeah.
May want to faff about as long as possible.
All right. All right.
Like in character or just in general?
So what do you think about just go up to the farmer and be like,
Depends on the weather,
so what
yes.
are you thinking? What do you think about tell me your beliefs on the philosophies of the existence of man. Well, you see.
Which of the two farmers do you say that to?
I mean, inherently, unfortunately, in game, we have quite a reason to at least get to Galt, especially get to Galt as soon as possible.
Right.
So, unfortunately, more what I come in and say to the group is, all right, well, best be on our way.
The older farmer looks at you. I remember you. You were in the carriage. You're poking your head out at Darrow window.
Oh. Yes, yes. How are you doing?
None of my crops died last night.
That's good. Usually they Do they die overnight usually?
Should they?
Um.
Kind of look
Anyways.
at you, honest, and just kind of give him the like. We should go.
Anyways, we must be going. We have a long way to go, unfortunately.
This guy's kind of weird. We should go.
Yeah.
The younger farmer speaks up again. Where are you all heading off to anyway? You don't gotta tell us exactly where. We understand if you don't trust us. We're farmers after all. But
What? Wait. What?
You got
Why
a
is
general
being a farmer
direction, or are
so
you just
inherently
wondering about aimlessly?
I like look at Silva.
I mean, we're going up toward. I mean, we're trying to make our way up towards passage, but the two of you should try to keep yourselves safe. While we appreciated the warning of the. Well, we appreciated the warning about the werewolf before last night. It's going to be a rather dangerous one. You should rather make sure you get yourselves protected.
The the older farmer, at that his eyebrow kind of furrows, the eyes narrow, kind of tilts the hat down a little bit. You know, he's got this huge sun hat. Tilts the hat down, kind of leans in real close to you. You talking about the werewolf?
Yes. I'm sorry. It's so sad you can't like see the like like really sarcastic look on my face right now of just like yes. Giving that I said the werewolf.
You reckon you found it?
I mean, what's more, I don't know exactly where it went. I think I saw something about it. But what's important is that I know what moon it is currently. And it's a rather dangerous moon.
Farmer kind of looks up. I don't see any moon, but reckon you outsider folk probably know more than I do. And the younger farmer next to him says, "Well, it is daytime, so you know. But all the same, best of luck on your travels for sure."
Yes, like I said, hopefully you two can stay safe. You know, obviously just try to keep yourselves out of harm's way when the full moon does arrive.
Of course, young miss. We'll keep an eye on ourselves. It's what we do. We look out for each other here. And I should mention, you said you're going y'all are heading north there. You wouldn't happen to be passing on your ways over to the city of Galt there, would you?
Yeah, we were planning on it. Yeah, we wanted to inevitably give them warning about the situation here.
The two farmers share glances with each other, and then at the same time, Hush Puppy and Baja also share glances with each other, and then they share a glance with the farmers. The younger farmer says, "Well, you know, definitely watch for yourselves. You know, if you're going to get to Galt, you're going to have to make your way through the crying fields after all."
The what?
The older farmer. "Tell me you don't know about the crying fields?"
Crying fields?
The crying fields, what?
Unfortunately, I can't say I have.
Yes, friend, none of us are from around here.
He's going to make an insight check on y'all. Um, he looks at all of you. You must really be from out of the way if you've never heard of the Crying Fields.
Just assume we're from quite far out of the way. What are these fields?
He kind of points forebodingly off towards the north. You see, many years ago, back during the war, when there was a war happening, there were several major conflicts that happened. Shh, I'm trying to be serious. There was several major.
What?
Damn it, Franny. I'm watching. I keep seeing Franny break. I gotta look away.
What's causing you to break, Franny?
Probably my stupid voice.
No, it's because I'm imagining this farmer in his entirety beginning this long out, drawn out. It sounded like he was about to explain to us what war is, and
Oh.
my mind jumped ahead, and I just ruined it for myself.
You see a war. You see, back when the
Well,
war was
y'all,
happening. And,
Right,
know,
you see, war never changes.
y'all don't happen to be from Thrain, do you?
No.
I believe you immediately. See, what you gotta understand is that, well, back in the war on Dare and Thrain, we didn't get along too well. Our nations were bitter rivals, and there were many terrible battles between us. 5 of them took place just north of here, on the border between the two nations. It was a heavily contested spot of land there, stretching many miles. And the damage that was done was, well, so far it's been irreparable. Attempts have been made, but the landscape is still heavily scarred by all the fighting that happened there. There's something wrong with those fields. See, a lot of the remnants of the battles have been cleaned up and taken away. But ever since the war ended, the grass don't sit right. See, no matter how many times you cut it away, it always grows back. And when it does, it grows back red, crimson red, like blood. Ain't like nothing I ever seen before. Ain't no other place in the world I've ever seen. And I ain't seen a lot of the world, to be fair.
Huh?
But I ain't never seen another spot where the grass grows blood red and stays that way. But there's more to it than that. You see, the crying fields get their name from the howling and the moan that can be heard across the wind. Sounds like the screams of dying soldiers facing their last stand. The shouts and cries of young guards protecting their keep before their lives are violently ended. There used to be trenches there, fortifications, that all been wiped out since. But if you listen close, you can still hear the cries. And there are some that even say that the spirits of these soldiers still haunt those lands, searching for the trenches they once hid in, unable to find their shelters. They wander the landscape, crying out into the moonlight. Others say it's like a weather pattern and like the wind be whistling. But some say it's spirits. And if you're heading north, unless you go a long, long ways through the forest, there's no avoiding going through those fields.
Hmm.
The younger farmer speaks up. And for all you seem to know about werewolves, I can tell you right now, if you've never encountered a ghost before, pretty scary stuff. Very spooky. The last thing you want is to ever be in contact with a ghost of any kind. You're doing a thing with your hand there. What are you doing?
Forgive me for interrupting. I was deciding whether or not to interrupt to make an antidote towards.
None of us are poisoned,
ghosts.
friend. Do
Oh.
you plan to poison us and then provide us with an antidote? Is this a riddle? I can't solve your riddle, shaman. I am but a humble farmer.
That is fair. If I were to poison you, it would be ill advised of me to inform you of it beforehand.
Baha speaks up. It's a form of, I think it's a form of like psychology. Like he's telling them how he would do it, so that they think he would do it, but really he wouldn't do it. But that's what he wants them to think. So and Hush Puppy's like, it's okay, Baha. Settle down. It's okay. Let them talk.
Anecdote back.
Thank you.
There's no antidote for ghosts, lad. I'm sorry.
That is fair. And I have forgotten what I was going to say. Regardless, thank you for your time.
Understood. Happens to me all the time. I don't remember who you all are.
That's okay.
Well, all right.
All right. Well,
Wish you bountiful harvest this year.
In those cases, it is best that we probably then get going as soon as possible, so that we don't lose the daylight.
All right, then. Safe journeys to you all. Fare thee well. They kind of look to the horses. Fare thee well to you as well. The horses both, they scratch the ground with a hoof and then take a curt little bow.
All right.
All right, so you get your two horses. They realign themselves with the carriage, and you all clamber in, and you are good to go if you are ready to go.
Yeah, let's get going to our next destination. I don't want to be around the horrific werewolves, and I want to get to go to the blood fields of blood and tears and crying and ghosts.
That's the spirit.
I mean, they were like, you don't want to like, oh, don't fight no ghosts. I didn't have it in me to be like, trust me. We're very intimately familiar with dealing with ghosts by this point.
That was the antidote that Dak was about to like say before he stopped himself.
Yeah, no, we don't need to bring up that one killed set already.
Nah.
Oh God.
You all journey onward. And as you do, the Dragon Inn slowly disappears out of sight, getting smaller and smaller and smaller, so it's disappeared entirely. You find yourselves once again back on an open road with field all around you. And not long after that, could I please have somebody roll a d6 for me?
I call it.
Okay.
Oh God, the noise. That's 2.
2? Okay.
Yep.
About an hour and a half or so into your continued travel, you are once again greeted by rain. It starts slow at first, but then it steadily begins to pour in.
I quickly grab the
increasing
2D cutout
frequency.
set and like shove it through the slot into the carriage so the cardboard doesn't get wet.
The fields around you start off as lush, with assortments of flowers, blooming trees around you. But as they clear, you begin to see ahead of you a change. Fog starts to build and increases to such a density that you can see maybe 30 to 40 feet ahead of you, but that's the most you can see. After that, it is just completely obscured. The path itself once again becomes muddy. There are no houses, no signs of any kind. Just the road and the winding hills around you. You begin to see speckles of red.
Oh.
At
Immediately.
first, they almost look like maybe some posies, sort of spotted around. But then you notice on the right side of the road that there is indeed a streak that starts small, builds and builds until it covers an entire hill of this enormous patch of grass and greenery. But it's not greenery because it is largely shades of a very dark crimson red, with occasional blanches of some oranges and some lighter pinks. This red field sort of blossoms outward and it covers this huge expanse. And you can see that over on your right side, coming over one of the hills, you are greeted to what is akin to like a valley. And in that valley, there are massive gouges carved into the earth, enormous craters, and areas where large swaths of the land were just either ripped apart or cut into or broken away. You see scattered remnants of ramparts, heavy stone that at one point may have been used as ammo in a catapult or a trebuchet that now just sits covered in moss from years of inactive use. There are only ruins here. And even those are mere fragments of what you imagine the battlements that had existed must have been. Far off in the distance, you can just make out what appears to be a collapsed tower. You can only really see the silhouette in this fog and the rain. But it stretches up a good 20 or so feet up into the sky, where you can see that the tower itself was almost seemingly smashed from the top. and has left only this sort of crumbled ruin in its wake. The surrounding area has deep gouges in the earth and craters everywhere.
This must be those fields that they were talking about.
Right. So, it is probably best that we don't overstay our welcome. There is a, I can see where this would be perturbing to some, but there's a bit of a beauty in it.
Somewhat melancholy.
Yes.
It is troubling to think of how many lives must have been lost here.
Our hush puppy and Baja, okay? The ones that to take us through this.
Poke my eyes out through the slot as I'm inside with everybody. And to Hush Puppy, I asked, how are the two of you faring?
We are all right so far. We don't come up this way very often. It is admittedly a little unsettling, but we are keeping our eyes peeled for anything that may come out of the fog.
If there is anything that you require of us, please let us know.
Of course, dear.
Thank you. Sit back down. I look to Johannes. They are okay. They would let us know if there are any complications.
Okay. Do I see anything off in the distance, or like get any weird feelings as we ride through?
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
10. Man, I can't roll.
You just see the rain and the fog and this sort of mist that sort of rolls over these hills. You hear the occasional squawk of a bird flying in the sky. But...
I'm just gonna like keep looking out and just sort of like, meditate, get some rest. Think about home.
Could I have somebody who is not Franny roll a d6, please?
Yes, I got it.
Okay.
I want my redemption.
Hurtful, but all right.
5, let's go.
Hey. Six rat scorpions come up and eat us.
Yeah, just immediately.
The fog persists. The rain lets up a little bit, but it's still there. As you continue along this path, swaths of red all along, you begin to hear something on the wind.
What was that?
Given what we were told about this place, likely something to be ignored.
I suppose you're right. Gonna just like sit in the corner and just like do my breathing exercises.
just kind of continue to remain focused and
Yeah.
let it go by.
Silva,
Mm-hmm.
would you be so kind as to roll a d6?
It's a 4.
Okay. Are all three of you back inside the carriage now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm looking out the window when I can.
Silva,
Mm-hmm.
you think you see, for just the briefest moment, a figure walking in the fog. Humanoid, upright.
Sick.
This is again really one of those things that really hits that spot of kind of giving a warning where we are. Best to leave it alone.
Yeah. Just get through it. I'm on board.
Johannes,
Yeah.
you see outside a something moving on all fours, moving at a steady gallop. It's incredibly hard to make out through the fog, but what appears to be perhaps a wild horse run over one of the blood-red hills, followed by 5 or 6 humanoid figures running after it.
What? Those are the people out there. Wait. Ghosts. I'm gonna sit back inside. Just like stare at the wall.
Dak,
That's me.
your attention is drawn back to the tower that you are passing by.
Mm-hmm.
It continues to shrink in the distance, almost becoming completely invisible. But just before it leaves your sight, you see humanoid figures running towards it, colliding with each other. You see a swing as something large whips around the side of the tower. The figures scatter, some of them flung away, others launched up into the air. And as they're launched up, something enormous and winged swoops down from the cloudy sky, snatches them in its claws, and evaporates up into the atmosphere.
Dak watches in awe and doesn't know how to explain it. But he does look upon it, and it's one of those situations where you're a bit shocked about what you just saw. But then he remembers what everybody else has been saying, and that it must be ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
You continue to hear the sounds, the low hum, the murmurs carried by the wind. Some of them sound like battle cries. other screams, whimpers, sobbing, gulping, choking. And then you hear another voice on the wind. Ah! Right there!
Oh no, the ghost speaks Simlish.
You hear a clear voice in your head. Hey, Hush Puppy and I see somebody on the road right ahead of us. They're just standing in the middle of the road, but they're kind of like moving our way. We're gonna slow down a bit. We're gonna proceed slowly.
How do they look like?
They're kind of on the shorter side. Hard to really make out. I'm just seeing like a silhouette of them. But they're short and bulky.
Short and bulky?
I mean, it does sound a little bit more like attention, but we should be wary of the fact that it could be the land playing some type of trick, but in this scenario that it isn't, I would say yes. Slowing down, proceeding by, we can keep an eye out and find out as we look through the window.
Understood.
Carriage slows a bit as it continues its way. After a few minutes, you hear the carriage as the horses come to a complete stop.
Well, I guess
Hey!
I was gonna say I would have had the window open still, I think, during that.
Silva, you see coming into focus about 30-40 feet away. There is a figure standing in the middle of the road. They are shorter, bearing heavy armor plating on them. Long hair tied up into a bun with a very long braided beard coming down. They carry in their hands a large, intricate, what appears to be like a mace.
Well, I will, I'll regard them, I guess, once we end up getting close to them, or vice versa.
The horses continue their approach. And Hush Puppy speaks to you, Dak. They appear to be trying to wave us down. It looks like it's a dwarf. They're wearing battle ailments, and they have a weapon.
I have a question. Are they wearing armor?
Yes, they are, dear.
Is the water bouncing off the armor?
I'm afraid I can't tell. We'll have to get closer.
It would appear as if there is no splashing of water on the Rana, then it would be best if we avoid them. But if there is, it means that they are an actual person and not a ghost.
Dear, if we are to avoid them, then we will have to go off of the road. We'll have to venture out onto the hills, loop around them. Are you all right with that?
Yes. Your safety is paramount.
All right then. Gonna get a little bumpy, everybody. Hang on tight. The carriage swerves as the horses take you up one of the hills on the right side.
Wait, I thought they were gonna do that once they figured out where or not there was water splashing.
They could, if you want them to continue to approach first.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought that was what we established.
Yes, I was to say what Franny was getting at was that, yeah.
Sure. All right, they will continue to approach. You are now good 20 feet away from this figure. Nephew!
Oh, that's Cap.
Nephew.
You said we're 20 feet away?
About 20 feet away, yeah.
A range of 30 feet. I'm gonna try to make a mental connection with this creature. Who are you?
Nothing happens.
Do I feel a connection being made, or hush, puppy, Baha? It would be best if we keep everywhere avoid them.
Are you certain?
They are not real.
The carriage veers up onto a hill, climbing up, so that now the road is down below on your left side. All of you looking out are able to see that the figure, clothed in armor, glaive in hand, now waving it, a beaming smile on their face, partially obfuscated by this beard, waves to you. As they do, more figures come out of the fog, approaching them, running at them with breakneck speed. You watch as the person in the road turns. They take the glaive and they swing at these figures, knocking them to the ground. A few of them go still, but one of them begins to crawl away. And as it does, the figure with the glaive, sorry, not the glaive, the mace, wrong campaign.
That actually threw me off for a second. Because you said that earlier and that confused me.
What is this, a crossover episode?
I was like, oh, the weapon's not right.
The figure with the mace is what I meant let's say.
Almost caught him slipping.
Walks over to this other person that is crawling along the ground. They bring up an ironclad boot and slam it down on the joint of their leg.
Eek.
The person on the ground reflexively twists and contorts. But before they can do anything else, the figure with the mace raises it up into the air and then slams it down on their head. Removes it. Begins to walk away. Turns. Slams it down on their head a second time.
Whoa.
More figures appear from the fog. They are numerous, clad in soldier's armor. And you watch as the man with the mace, a dwarf, shorter than all of them, and yet swings, wide swings and strikes, smashing through them, plated armor flying, helmets being knocked loose,
One moment.
as soldiers are thrown to and fro. The figure with the mace is like a blur, smashing through all of them with reckless abandon. On the other side of you, on the hill itself, images sprout into being from within the blood grass. Shadows and figures, all of them of similar stature and wielding a mace. One of them takes the hammer and swings upward, smashing another figure so that their head is removed and spins, cartwheeling through the sky before landing nearby. Another takes the handle of the mace and shoves it into the gut of a shadowy soldier before taking the mace itself, putting it on the top of their neck and pulling them down to the ground. Another still, forming into being from the grass, crawling out as if crawling out of dirt, reaches for an unseen object, lifts it, brings it around, and fires. On the other side of you, you see a shadow fall. More of these shadowy figures propping up, all of them coming to life and reenacting moments of battle and bloodshed over and over again. Like translucent, fog-like dioramas of warfare playing out around you. Toy soldiers reenacting their last moments everywhere you look. And in each one, a dwarf wielding a mace, or a knife, or a firearm, or a sword, or an axe, brutally and viciously disassembles these other shadows without hesitation. The calls and cries on the wind have been replaced with shrieks and gasps, guttural screams, cut off, literally.
Man.
A semi-invisible war plays out around you as the horses attempt to go faster, as fast as they can without losing control of the carriage. The wind howls now. I want the three of you to choose one of you to roll one more d6 for me.
Marshall, it's your
Marshall.
time.
Okay. Silva, you see running up alongside the carriage one of these dwarves. Same beard, same expression on the face, same armor. The dwarf makes contact with you, and you see that it does not have eyes.
That's not okay.
And it tosses its mace to the side, grabs at its hair, and pulls, ripping away its face. To reveal nothing. It throws aside and leaps, colliding with the carriage. And the carriage is entirely encased in fog.
Oh.
The fog is coming.
You are all blinded.
Oh boy.
We
Blinded.
happy and say we did.
You hear a rattling as the carriage violently shakes around you.
Oh, you guys, I don't like ghosts.
Zach is just pale.
Hush, puppy.
Yeah, Baja. Hush puppy. Forgot to
Hush,
unmute
puppy.
myself in, OBS for a second, sorry. It's like if you can see it, just push for it. Get us out of here.
You hear no response, but you feel the carriage increase in speed around you. It begins to shake and roll side to side. You all feel yourselves kind of being pushed into each other.
Oh, Dak is
The windows
catatonic.
creak around you. You begin to hear you look up, and the roof of the carriage is bulging inward, as if something extremely heavy is pushing it from the outside.
Well, no time like the present to stab the roof.
Johannes is just sort of like, he's just like sort of breathing.
I've seen this. Like, I know these ghosts don't play games like that. I'm fucking stabbing the roof.
All right, roll for an attack against the roof.
Go roof.
Roof attack, with rapier. That's going to be a 22.
That'll hit.
Should I bother rolling damage against the roof?
Yes.
Okay. 9.
Okay. You stab your rapier into the roof. And as you do, you hear a blood-curdling scream. The carriage shakes violently. Do you remove your rapier?
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna keep it there.
When you remove the rapier, the hole that it left behind expels from it a fountain of blood that begins to fill the carriage.
That's not good.
Oh, what did you do, Silva?
A jet of crimson red that erupts inward. But quickly you notice as it begins to cover all of you, it's not actual blood. It's blades of grass. The red grass that was all around you. Flying in like demented confetti.
Keep calm. It is likely playing tricks on us.
You're right. Ghosts aren't real.
Well,
Well, they are, but, you know, they can't hurt me, not if I stay calm.
Dak is full catatonic with staring at the grass.
Set speaks up in this moment. I don't know why, but I feel like we should all hold our breath. Gut feeling, I suppose. The blades of grass continue to fill the carriage. Still bursting forth from this opening in the roof. They flutter all about, filling in the compartments. You can see now that it's beginning to rise up, covering your legs, reaching up to your knees. The rattling and shaking of the carriage gets more and more severe.
They said to hold my breath. I'm gonna hold my breath.
Dak is also gonna hold his breath.
oh, I'm really unsure about what to trust here. I mean, what said to hold the breath?
Set.
Set did.
Oh, well then, sure. Yes, I'll do this.
Believe our boy said he died for our sins.
He did. It's our own personal Jesus allegory.
Exactly. He came back thanks to nepotism and capitalist desires.
You all feel a lurching in your stomachs. It is the horrible feeling that at some point you stopped being upright and are being flung through the air. But you have no possible way of knowing because you can't see anything outside. It's like you're trapped in a wind tunnel and you don't know which way is up. I need all three of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
17. Finally.
That's gonna be an 8 for me.
Oh.
21.
Nice.
Yeah, it's 10 plus 9.
Johannes and Silva, you continue to hold your breath as the unending blades of red grass continue to fill in the carriage and fly about and whip about and smack everything. Dak, you, as the carriage lurches and feels like it's rotating around, you're taken aback, and you open your mouth for a moment, and when you do, dozens upon dozens of these blades of red grass begin to violently fly into your mouth and fill up your throat, making it difficult for you to breathe.
Great.
The other three watch as you kind of claw at your mouth, trying to spit it out, pull it back out, but the blades of grass whip around you like a mini tornado, and they cut at your face and they whip through your hair, and more of them pour into your open mouth as it's beginning to fill up with these blades of grass. You can feel your jaw beginning to stretch.
Ugh. I like that.
Cool. Dak is panicking in his head. He's repeating the same word over and over again, which is Altivars.
You all feel another heavy lurch from the carriage as everything feels like it's been flipped upside down, and even though you have had no perception, suddenly all of you lift from your chairs and slam up into the ceiling where the fountain of red grass is still pouring out. All four of you now lay on the ceiling as the grass continues to fill in and flow about and slowly take up more space inside of the cabin.
I want to yell, what do we do? But I'm not going to stop holding my breath. I'm just going to think that in my head over and over. Maybe Dak will hear it. Maybe some higher power will hear it.
Can I see either Johannes or Silva?
Yes.
Okay.
You can
So,
absolutely see them.
to both of them, I do make connections. I make a connection only to say like, what is happening, and just continuously doing that.
Yeah, so Silva and Johannes, you are able to hear Dak's voice in your heads.
I'm like kind of panicking in my head. I don't know. Ah! I mean, I'm still hoping this is like a trick.
Right.
Can
Trying
only
to remain calm.
Yeah, I can only try to play the mental game.
I'm gonna like think in my head, like, please run faster. Fahad, hush puppy.
All 4 of you are currently laying on the ceiling. There is a fountain of red grass.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah. How
spurting
close
out.
are we to the hole?
It's like right there because the actual carriage itself isn't, especially
Incredibly
big.
big.
Mhm.
It's like 5 or 6 feet.
And what happens when I try
diameter.
to put my hand up to the hole to plug it? Just
You could definitely make an attempt, absolutely.
yeah, no.
Yeah, make a strength check for me.
Well, I'm good at those.
Hey.
He said sarcastically.
Oh. Let's go.
It's an 8. Just
You reach your hand out and attempt to kind of force the stream of red grass in and place your hand over it. But as you do, you can feel the sharp blades endlessly needling at your hand, sharp little pinpricks of pain constantly, and the pressure of this just jet of the red grass is just so strong that it knocks your hand back out of the way. You take 1 point of damage.
Oh. Can we like put something in there? I mean, we're like pushed up against the ceiling. We probably can't move that well. Just gonna I don't know. This can't be real. The ghost playing tricks on us.
Damn, I thought I had that smell. I don't. I don't think I got anything for it.
I mean, outside of if you guys want to try what I did and just be stronger about it, but
Yeah, I mean, I can try to like plug it up with something from my pack.
well, it's only let's say the hole's only the size of a rapier.
Yeah.
Dak is gonna pull out a piece of bread,
Okay.
and using the piece of bread, he's going to try to plug the hole.
Alright, make a strength check for me.
All right, just straight strength. Whoa, straight strength, right?
Strength. Straight strength.
That's a 4. Wait. I'm gonna use magical guidance to spend 1 sorcery point to re-roll that.
Alright, go ahead and do so.
That makes it a 10.
Nice. You take the bread and you shove it into the opening, and it holds for a second. You look at it like, oh my god, I think it worked. And it's just like torn, ripped apart. It's like you fed it into a wood chipper. Like it is just eviscerated.
I'm dumb. I'm gonna put my hand next to the hole and cast correction, which is the mending spell that I have.
You cast mending. Very smart.
Not smart enough. I didn't realize this.
And you all
20 minutes
see
earlier.
as the wooden paneling that makes up the roof of this carriage begins to repair itself. The fibers of the wood sort of crisscrossing in almost in like a pattern as it like rapidly is repairing itself in that spot. And it seems to be doing so for the most part, but then as it's finishing, you can see where the force of the grass is so great that it begins to break off little pieces of the wood one by one, and before long it tears away at whatever work has been done by the mending spell, and the hole grows larger still, and even more begins to flood in. Over half of the carriage now is filled with these blades of crimson red grass, and it's filling even faster.
Eek.
Filling faster.
That grows over and dies. Just like X's on his eyes. Full blood.
You all see that Set sort of picks themselves up into like a kneeling position and begins looking around at everyone and is like looking at their clothing, their weapons, everything like that, everything they seem to be carrying on their person. It's gotta be something bigger. Would anyone like to assist Set in taking a look at their belongings and trying to find something?
To just plug the hole?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to like shove something in there. Is it still like the size of a rapier?
It's larger now. The hole has expanded to be like larger than, I'd say it's like the size of like a bagel.
A bagel. I'm gonna take my bedroll. Just
Make a strength check.
to 15.
15. It is, you slam the bedroll into place, and it seems to be holding, but you can hear the sound of the blades of grass ripping the bedroll apart from the inside, and soon enough you feel it as the blades rip through the other end,
Oh my god.
going just clean through the bedroll. Would anyone like to give Set the help action?
Sure, I'll give Set the help back.
Excellent. Okay. Everyone who is still actively holding their breath, I need you to make another Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Okay.
Actually, no, it would be everyone because Dak is also having difficulty breathing. So
Yeah.
everybody, Constitution saving throw.
14 for me.
That's an 11.
Okay. Oof. Dak, you're beginning to lose consciousness.
Right.
You feel yourself, your vision is going dark. You are beginning to blank out. You are having difficulty keeping your head raised as just an obscene amount of this grass. And it, for what it's worth, I can't speak to whether your character has tasted grass before. But if they have, this does still taste like grass. It is just an immense amount of it that is working its way down your throat. And it's just like building up inside of your mouth, causing the muscles in your jaw to strain heavily to the point where it feels like there's going to pop.
Not a good feeling is what I'm
Yeah.
getting from this.
Yes, and you take 5 hit points of damage as well.
Tight. All right, that sucks. Dak has takes the grass the same way any normal person would, by falling face first into it.
Okay. Who is currently holding the mace that Nathaniel gave to the group?
Oh man,
That would be Deck.
it would be Dak. Yeah.
Dak, as you fall forward, Set reaches out and grabs you, holding on to you. They are going to reach a hand up. Yeah. And they reach rather roughly into your mouth and like claw out a bunch of the grass that has been building up in your mouth and just toss it out to the side. And they go, I got an idea. Hang on. Stay with us. Stay with us, okay, Dak? And he's gonna reach down and he's gonna take the mace from your person. And they grab it and they go, okay. I mean, I got nothing else. And they are going to swing the mace into the opening.
This sucks.
Really does. Deck, the entire time that Set like had a hold on him, was actively trying to like get out of Set's grasp, just as a reaction. But
Okay.
due to
You can choose to.
due to nearly blacking out, though, it was more of a feeble attempt rather than actual like cohesive attempt.
Okay. You want to choose to fail that?
Yes, because he's nearly passing out.
So Set does let you go as they take the mace from your possession and they swing it into the hole. As they do, it smashes into the top of the carriage, which is now the bottom for all of you. And the roof of the carriage beneath you cracks and splinters. And as it does, the entire carriage collapses and compartmentalizes in upon you in a matter of seconds. All of you are completely blinded for a moment. And when you open your eyes, you are in the carriage. But the carriage is upright. And it is not moving. It is completely still. There is no fog. You see outside the windows the rolling valleys and hills. In the distance, you can just make out one of the hills having some faint shades of red. And there is a pounding on the carriage door as you hear Baja say, "You all right, amigos? Come on, open up."
Dak promptly throws up.
Alright.
I like dizzily like grab my head.
Boom, 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 come on. Baja continues to knock heavily at the door.
Can we open the door?
You can.
Hey, guess who's muted? This
Yeah.
guy. No, yeah. What I was trying to say, what I was doing is that like kind of when they said that, I was gonna kind of do like the quick like pushing open of the windows, doing like a.
Silva, you see that Baha is taking their hoof and actually like repeatedly slamming it against the door, trying to open it.
So I just opened the window and just up to the face.
Oh, you scared me. You guys all right in there?
How did Silva die? Took a hoof to the face.
We are
Got
not
kicked by a
alright.
horse.
Question: When Dak throws up, does he see red grass?
No.
Right.
Tell us. I mean, you can tell Dak, but what's the last thing that you guys remember seeing from us or hearing from us?
We couldn't hear anything from you. That was the part. We were making our way through the fields there, and the fog was so heavy we could hardly see anything. We just had to rely on trying to go through the fields as quickly as we could, but it was difficult to see where we were going. And we couldn't hear anything from you guys. It was just silent.
You don't remember seeing a small figure?
Oh no, yeah, we saw all that. There was like spirits all around us. We just couldn't hear anything from you.
Oh, yeah, they were messing with us. Get us out of here, please.
Please run faster.
Yeah, no, we're on the other side of the fields. We're gonna leave right now.
Oh,
We just wanted to check with you guys, make sure you're okay.
I'm just gonna lay down for a moment. It's like pass out, like face first on the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all guys just rest as much as you want. We're gonna get you right to the next city, no problem. And Baha reconnects himself to the carriage. They immediately begin taking off again as you find yourselves in a large clearing on what seems to be the other side of like a big meadow. Taking off once again. Set gives the mace back to you, Dak. Sorry I took that without asking. It was kind of a dire situation.
It is understood. Dak is casting blessings to get rid of the vomit that's inside the carriage. Of course.
When you take the mace back, you notice that there is something written on the handle.
What does it say?
Engraved along the handle, dug into the leather, it says, "Watch the sky, see the rain." Rain is spelt R-E-I-G-N.
Gotcha. Was this on the mace? And I just never noticed?
On the handle of the mace.
Right, but was it on there like before and I just never realized it, or is this something new? Okay, Dak has no clue. So for the first time he sees this. Cool. Tight.
The carriage picks back up to full speed. And all of you gladly, thankfully, find yourselves on the other side of the crying fields. Further continuing your travels, if any of you were to dare to look back, you might see a figure standing on the road, short, clad in battle armor, waving a large hand, a beaming smile on their face, partially obscured by a beard, as something great and horrible quietly and beautifully descends from the skies above, wraps them in its talons, and reacquaints them with the heavens above. And where that figure stood, nothing stands. Not anymore. Next time we meet, you shall continue your journey, likely arriving in the next city. From there, you will be able to continue making your way to Passage, and we shall see what lies ahead in the adventure. But for now, thank you all for watching, and thank you all for playing. Remind us, Franny, what was written on that mace again?
Watch the sky, see the rain.
Good night, everybody.